Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Now we're live and we have audio. All right. Welcome, folks. Music's too loud. Turn it down. Okay. That seems like it's probably pretty good. Neptune 4 Max here in front of me. We're going to put some linear rails on it. Maybe. Let's start that right now. This stream, this build, I don't know if this is going to work, honestly. I have this linear rail kit from TB Strawn 3D. There's a link in the description down below that is an affiliate link to find these parts for yourself if you have a Neptune 3 or 4 Pro Plus Max. They make linear rail kits for them. Some Creality machines too. In fact, let's just look at it real quick. The thing is that they sent me, I also want to convert this thing to mainline clipper. That we'll see how well the linear rail install goes. But yeah, TB Strawn, they've got linear rail kits for a couple different kinds of machines, I think. Just like basic, so Anycubic, Creality, and Elegoo printers. The thing is, they sent me these a while ago for the Neptune 3 Max. And Open Neptune, yes, I'm going to be. Happy Friday, everybody! Welcome! They sent me these for the Neptune 3 Max. I was going to do a whole clipperizing of the Neptune 3 Max, but I sold the Neptune 3 Max. I got rid of it for a while ago. Because the Neptune 4 Max is here, I don't have enough space for all these machines, so it went away. So I'm hoping we're going to be able to install this linear rail kit on here. We're going to find out, because they do list two separate kits, a Neptune 3 Max and a 4 Max kit. Don't know. We're going to find out what's involved. So it'll either work or it won't. All right, I've also got a new close-up angle this time around, so I might be able to move things around. Well, Tor, I don't know if it's going to be worth it to upgrade to linear rails. I don't even know if this is if it doesn't fit, it's a bit use a bigger hammer. Yeah, the only thing I think the Y rails are going to fit. Back to the A cam. No Z-axis. We're doing Y-axis and X-axis. They don't have Z-axis that I don't think. Yeah, they don't have. They only have Y and X, I believe. Oh no, they do have Z. They do actually have Z. I only have the Y and X. I don't have the Z-axis, so I'm not that worried about Z-axis, honestly. I'm worried about the motion system. So we're doing Y and X. We're going to start with the Y-axis because, one, I think that's going to be the bigger deal. I ran input shaper tuning before the stream. Just ran input shaper measuring resonance on X and Y axis so we can do a before and after read on them. And here we are. Hopefully it makes an improvement. The Y axis graph was garbage. No surprise. Big heavy bed it's slinging around. Let me see if I can pull it up quick. So I'm curious what difference this is going to make. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious as well. So, let me open the input shaper graphs real quick, and I can screen share. Over here we go, and screen share. I forgot to turn the OBSBot on. Okay, here's the input shaper graph as it was. Y-axis. Double hump, really low in the resonance frequency. The thing was noisy, loud. It was not fun. Yes, my name is spelled Alan, A-L-A-N. What were you sure you were going to break? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at chat right now because I'm loading these things. So, Y-axis looks like garbage. It recommends 2 hump. EI with a 1500 acceleration. That's exactly what I kind of expected out of this thing. The X-axis looks better. X-axis is recommending upwards of 9300 acceleration with MZV and looks much cleaner on the X-axis. No surprise, a lot less moving there. So anyway, we're going to run, hopefully get this installed and then run input shaper measuring again. If there's time, I don't really expect there to be, but if there's time, I'm going to try and install Open Neptune. Let me open that too. mainline clipper for this machine. Which screen is it? There we go. Mainline clipper project to get mainline clipper on this machine and get rid of the Elegoo-izing of clipper that's on here right now. So we'll see. I don't know if we're going to have time for that, but let's get to work. We're going to start with the Y-axis. I'm going to power this thing down. Do you have any recommendations where to get screws for the best price for the 2.4? Currently sourcing parts while watching. I don't really have any good like price recommendations. I usually shop quality when it comes to hardware, because it's really important. That said, I don't know for sure. I know with the... I don't know overall recommend the Physect, not Physect. What's the other company that I've reviewed their V0 kits before? Seaboard. Seaboard. I don't really recommend the Seaboard kits based off of my experience with the V0 kits. I had bad experiences, some people didn't. They do sell hardware kits that are pretty nice. They come in like a fishing tackle box. I know they do for the V0. I would assume they do for the 2.4 as well. And I bet it's pretty reasonably priced if they do. But I don't know. So I would consider looking there. Products. Hardware. Yeah, I don't see hardware kits on their website, so they may not. I also didn't really refer to instructions for what we're doing here, so we're going to find out. West 3D has fastener kits in black stainless. That would be a solid setup, I would say. West 3D sells good stuff. And I also have a discount code for West 3D. Let me pull it up real quick. Why is that list so long? Pull up my my discount code for West 3D. Yeah, 5%. My discount code at West 3D is good for 5% off your order. Just drop the affiliate link in the chat, and if you use code MANDICREALLY, all uppercase, same as it's spelled in that link there, MANDICREALLY, you'll save 5% off your entire order. So that might be worth it for you. Yeah. All right, let's get this bed off. I'm going to first do the Y-axis. I'm just going to disassemble the thing, and we're going to go from there. This thing is massive, yet the Giga makes it look tiny. Totally. You are completely correct. It's wild. That's... People ask me about the Giga, and I'm like, I don't have space for a Giga. Oh, I didn't really make a point about it. The enclosure for the the Prussian enclosure, the Mark IV, I finished that up earlier today, and I got the new firmware installed. They released the new firmware today, 6.0, which added touchscreen capability to the screen on the damn thing. Which is great, because I constantly was like touching the button, touching the screen like it was a touchscreen, and it's not, or wasn't before today. So, are you running a 0.8 or 1mm on it? Neither. This still has a 0.4mm nozzle in it. I have bigger nozzles, but I haven't installed them yet. We might, if this goes well, we might have a chance. Are you still searching for 300 rounded 4-40 corners? No. I got some. Thank you. I had to order them from the UK, and it was really expensive, but I did. And I actually needed 350 corners. But I got them. Thank you. Oh, yay. Okay. We got to take a couple screws out. I didn't realize that. The middle of this is screwed down. That's so dumb. The middle is rigid, and the edges are not. The coolest part of the RC, the 6.0 firmware is the filament load sensor thing. Yeah, detecting filament jams, which they talked about originally with the load sensor. So it's really interesting that they've brought that in. I'm curious about that for sure. I could probably also a cool cold pull wizard. Oh, I saw mention of that, but I haven't. I installed it, and that's it. Fun fact: I currently can't find my bed for the Mark IV. I put it back in the enclosure and I realized the bed sheet wasn't on it, and I can't find it right now. I got to look back at my own streams from earlier in the week working on the Prussian enclosure to see if I can tell where the hell I put the sheet. I don't know. So the studio's a disaster right now because I've got so many builds going and I don't know where the bed sheet went for that machine. Angle 2. There we go. Oh, okay. The accelerometer mounts to the back corner here, and there was a cable going to it that I had to unplug. We'll pull out all these screws quick. Morning all, welcome Manjan. Ask the cat, see if they're guilty. Yeah, she's fast asleep right now under the desk, so she's fast asleep under the desk. All right. Since there's no disconnect on this cable, I'm going to try and slide this under the machine for the moment. And just leave it there, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else to do with this thing while I'm trying to work on this. Just dropped a spring that really fell far. Okay, now we're down to the... Oh, that's going to be fun. Why does West 3D sell a bound paper version of the 2.4 manual for 20 bucks? Actually, why doesn't everyone just sell these? Don't know. I don't know why everybody doesn't sell... Well, I know why everybody doesn't sell them. They don't sell them often because the manual gets updated. And so if you print a bunch of them and there's an update, you have to either like replace pages. It's not great. Unless you print them on demand, which is a lot of paper to print for just a $20 sale. Oh, joking. All right. Maybe the proof sheet's under the Neptune. Yeah, maybe. It's probably under something. Oh, is it under my 2.4? Nope, it's not under my 2.4. I dropped a spring. Got it. Got it. Got it, got it. Reintroducing the paper because we forgot we had it. Yeah, they get updated too frequently. That's a thing. Okay, so we got this big bed plate. Let me switch that camera down a little bit. All right, see about getting this off of here. Now's a good time to insert an ad. No, it isn't, YouTube. Stop that. Okay. Something I noticed, I don't know if anybody has one of these machines or whatever. Something about this bed frame I wish was like at least a millimeter thicker. Yes, it would add to the weight of the whole system, which is not ideal. I get that. But I have found that when you adjust the V-slot roller wheels to get tension on them, if you over tighten them, they can actually bow this whole bed assembly, which will throw off your bed leveling because the bed screws are out here at the edge. So it can actually bend and bow the bed entirely based off of V-slot roller wheels. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to eliminating going to linear rails here. So, okay, I'm just gonna, I don't know what to do other than just undo these screws. So let's try that. Couple of wrenches here. See if I can get one that actually fits the V-slot roller. Yeah. I was afraid of that. I was afraid of that. I don't know how well this is going to work because they're... It's almost like this is put together with the hex because the hex is inaccessible underneath here because of the bottom panel. Ay, ay, ay. We're going to find out. I might need to look at the instructions. I had hoped to avoid looking at their instructions, but because it's a 15-minute or 20-minute long video or something, not a great instruction set. But I think I'm gonna have to. Let's look. Oh, there's the. Whoop. Looking at how much percentage I make off my affiliate sales. There you go. A few percent. I think it's like 3 or 5. But hey, it adds up. Okay, Neptune 3 Max. Update. Bloop. That's the danger of sharing screens. Where's this video? Video guide, come on. Precautions, after installation, instructions. Here we go. Y-axis. It's not even a link I can click. I have to open it.
Remove the platform board and unscrew the nut with your hand. Then keep it aside as a spare.
Okay, you take out the nuts. Remove the heat bed nuts. Got that. Okay, now how do we get these screws? Timing belt screws? Okay, that's easy. Oh, okay. It wants me to slide it off the end of the platform. That's a good idea. Duh. Okay, that's easy. That's easy. Whoop. Okay. Take the belt mounts off. Question for all. Does anybody know how to run different beds with different Z offsets in Clipper? I don't have any particular ideas for that. I personally run build plates. I got what you meant. The best thing I could say is to run Z auto offset. Or auto Z adjust. I mean, auto Z offset plugin. That will do the job for you. It'll just auto set Z offset before every print, and then it doesn't matter. You can put whatever you could freaking, well, within a range, you know. If you put a 3mm thick piece of steel on top of there, it's going to be different. But otherwise, you can put pretty much any build plate you want on there. Aaron has it all figured out with macros. Cool. Okay. This back piece here I've got to get off. Nope. There we go. It's like a different size screw for everything so far. Well, a couple different sizes. M4 in the bed, M5 back here, M3 in top. Ay, ay, ay. Fabrico Discord and ask Aaron. That makes sense. Aaron sometimes stops by the chat. Don't know if he will, but 1 a.m. they are. Well, thanks for stopping by, Maddie. Appreciate saying hi at the very least. Appreciate it. All right. Now I can pull this whole bed frame off. Ooh, I just realized something. I wonder if this is going to require some alignment tools to be printed or something. All right, there's the bed frame off. Now I can actually access the screws here. Now I can access the screws. God, these are filthy. They're like scummy. They get that like dust nastiness. The linear rails do attach to the bed frame. So what this is it's got these brackets that mount to the side of the, I'm fairly sure these attach to the side of these extrusions here, which then holds our linear rails flat underneath the bed. And then there's these adapter brackets which mount to the linear rails and then to the frame of the bed frame. So it replaces these carriage mounts, go where the original wheels are currently mounted. Oh, it isn't including, my link isn't including what the, I think they're just generic rails. They're just generic rails. They feel oddly light for what the rails are, but they, otherwise are fine. It's not including my, I don't understand what you're saying there, Veriscal. It's not including my link. Oh, it's not including, I see. Let me create a tiny URL quick. Thank you for pointing that out, because I would get no credit for that. Copy. Tiny URL. I'll just make a tiny URL and then I can replace it with that. How much better are high wind rails? I don't have a good frame of reference to say. I would say I would really expect high wind rails to last a lot longer. Long term. For a machine like this, I don't know that I'd worry too much about the increased price. Alright, updated it to a tiny URL, which now should actually do the job. Does West 3D let you stack coupons? No idea. I doubt it. Small business, I doubt they do. No idea. Thank you for the heads up on the link thing. Here's the accelerometer mounted to the back of the frame here, or the bed frame. Okay, now I can get to these screws. First person I ever seen actually use a mouse like that. Yeah, I had a lot of repetitive stress injury in my forearm from metalworking, swinging a hammer all the time. My forearms were pretty beat up, and then sitting in a computer all the time. This thing works. It helps a lot. This is a printer I'm actually interested in. Is it any good, or are you going to find out? It can be good. It's not as good as the Neptune 3 Max in my experience so far. And it's mostly the firmware side of things. It has Z offset issues for me, constantly having bad first layer problems on it. And that's been a real headache on this machine. I think I got to save those spacers. That's been a real headache for me. The Neptune 3 Max I really liked. I'm hoping when I switch to the new firmware version on this, the open Neptune, that I'll like it more, is the best answer I could really give. Only issue I've had is making are ones of my own making and first layers. Yeah, first layers have just been a problem on this machine for me. Here are me 7 extruder cooler shroud kit. Do they make an upgraded design for this with 5015s? All of them were plagued by offset issues at launch. Yeah, there's a couple of updated firmwares for this thing I have not installed. I'll have to look at that. Thank you, Heavy Duty Roadside. Because I would like to eliminate the, I don't have it on there right now, the auxiliary part cooling. That thing's just too damn loud. It's overkill, unnecessary. Yes, I know there's a firmware update that's been a couple of firmware updates since I last updated this machine. It's been collecting dust for like a couple of months right now. That's why I'm finally getting around to this. I've got to start making progress on machines and either getting rid of them or something. So you just want to do this, use it a little bit, and then pass it on to a new home. Evening, 3D Medic. Where I dropped a screw. No, hopefully I don't need that. I'm going to put these aside so I have them separated. All the original hardware. Huge noise and quality improvement using the 5015 setup on your N4. Makes sense. That's a lot of companies are like, they're learning that you actually need part cooling. I don't know if tinyurl or you forgot. I put the West 3D link in the chat. I didn't pin it, but here, I'll drop it again. Boop. I think I closed it. Close that window, but I will grab it real quick. Copy. Dropping it in chat, and then I'll throw it in the description as well of the stream, just for anybody rewatching later. It'll be there. Anybody watch Joel's Prusa XL enclosure video? I didn't have a chance yet. I've been busy all day. I was busy right up till stream started, so. Alright, dropped it in the description. Was good. Printing the enclosure out of PETG. Cool. It looked colorful. I saw that in the thumbnail. I hadn't talked to him about that, so. It's ugly. It was interesting, but I don't think it'd be hard to DIY something similar. Makes sense. Okay, that's out of the way. I dropped 2 of the damn nuts. There's one. Hopefully I don't need the other one real soon. Okay, now our bed frame is stripped down. I'm going to clean this quick while I can get under here. Not something I do as it's massive. Yeah. A machine's just big. A machine is just big. When I built this shelf behind me, I purposely made it, this whole workbench, I purposely made it big enough to fit an XL in case I end up getting one. And I was blown away by the dimensions of the damn thing. It's just so big. It's a biggin. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna loosen the belt up a little bit. No reason for it to be so tight right now. Okay. Live chat. I don't know why it always defaults to top chat, not live chat, but here we are. Still hurts to see all this work on it, but still have to. Footprint of the XL still has to be smaller than the Neptune 4. Yeah, you're right, absolutely. If anyone's familiar with the mini stealth burner, is the extruder built into the tool head or does it accept other extruders? It is built into the tool head. The original extruder is built into the tool head on the mini stealth burner. So there are mods available, like a G2E Galileo 2. There is, well, the G2A standalone or whatever. There is a standalone housing for this. You just print a different bottom piece and then you mount the whatever extruder to the top. There are, I have one around here somewhere. I designed, nope, that's the wrong one. I don't know where it is. Damn it. Somewhere around here I have a mini stealth burner I designed to accept I designed one to accept LGX Lite. I don't know what I did with it. It's around here somewhere. But I have one to fit an LGX Lite that I designed. I haven't released it yet. But that does exist. There are various mini stealth burner mods to fit other setups. It's completely necessary. If you want to run any other extruder, you do have to. I think the CookieCAD filament V0. I'm going to probably put it together with the mini stealth burner. I've already printed the mini stealth burner parts, but I'm really tempted to build a I saw on printables this week, I was tagged in an HGX, a printable HGX version extruder that I want to play with, but not to get on Prussian nerves, but the Mark IV with that enclosure looks so janky compared to the actual enclosed Core XY 3D printer. It's just different. It takes up a lot of space. It's big. I mean, it's darn near the same size as my my Voron 2.4. It is big. Bearded Bucket, welcome. Personally, I really like. I'm liking G2SA over the standard, but standard works. Standard works. The mini stealth burner I like a lot better than the mini afterburner. I really didn't like the mini afterburner personally. The mini stealth burner is a big improvement as far as extruders and all that's concerned. I like large gear extruders. Like on my 0.2, I have an LGX Lite. I'm going to stick with that on that one. But I was really tempted to run a Galileo 2 G2SA on the CookieCAD machine, and I might yet. I don't know. I'm undecided. I do want to play with Galileo 2 a little more. I need to work on modifying my Galileo 2 in my 2.4 because they have the new design. I got to make a new cable mount, cable gland mount. Anyway, okay. I'm just going to look at the instructions real quick. Let's take a peek at what they are calling for next. Take the wheels off, blah, blah, blah. Install 8 M4 T-nuts and long short screws, or well, secure them to the side of the extrusions. That's what I expected. Oh, there's 2 sections of it. That's weird. That's awfully weird. Shorter section goes to the front. Starting from the holes in the long beam, secure. Yeah. Alright. And then it gets spacers that go on top of the... Weird. Then it gets... brass standoffs. Place the mounting spacer above the threaded hole. This is the typical, like, your language is not entirely clear. Oh well, we're gonna figure it out. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, the Osmo's off. Back up. All right. I've been eyeing Zoll toolhead anywhere, but I can't print ABS and ASA yet. Probably going to buy a kit and printed parts for first build, then upgrade after. They've been upgrading Zoll bit by bit. Like, as I've been working on the Trident, I'm going to be putting Zoll on the Trident. They've been updating it. So, like, maybe watch out for some updates. But it's a very light toolhead and a very interesting one in a handful of ways. Okay, so now we got to put M4 screws inside of this. M5 silicone gaskets, a bagged marked copper bolt, but it's brass standoffs, and here's our M4 T-nuts. So weird. M4 by 8 and our M4 T-nuts. They're hammerheads, unfortunately. No can of Monster today. It's back here. Bad apple. Haven't seen that one yet. It's back there. I just don't like to have a bunch of liquids on the bench because I'm going to knock shit over. So, I am clumsy. So, yeah. All right. I do not love that this uses hammerheads for this, but it's what we got. Wait a minute. I have M4 roll-ins. Should I use M4 roll-ins instead, or should I use what the kit comes with? I do have M4 roll-ins somewhere here. Wonder if I can find them quickly. I know where they were as of a day ago, or 2 days ago. But I don't know. Okay. So there's these... I don't know why they didn't make these in one piece, but they make them in 2 separate pieces. Roll-ins for the win, yeah. They make them in 2 separate pieces. Roll-ins. Alright, let me go see if I can find the roll-ins real quick. I'll be right back. They were exactly where I thought they were, on the other workbench. I got M4 roll-ins. We'll use these. We'll use these. I should probably put one in first just to be sure that it fits. Yeah, pretty sure it won't falsify any test results. I generally figure that roll-ins are a little stronger. What linear rails could potentially improve on printer this big? I'm expecting better stability for the bed. Because with the V wheels, you can have a little bit of inconsistency in that. And I'm just curious if the input shaper graph on Y is going to improve. Daniel Delis, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name. Coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, Daniel. If you have no other choice, hammerheads are fine. Yeah, hammerheads they're fine. I just feel that roll-ins are stronger, and I have them. So, let's use them. If they're going to work. This went in and came out pretty easy. Daniel Deslans? How do you pronounce Delans? Probably Delans, right? Yeah, anyway, thank you for the super chat. Super appreciated. Super chat, super appreciated. Oh yeah, somebody, I think Tor said something about it's sad to see the studio improving. Inexpensive Prince is in the house. Welcome. I made the announcement on Maker Viking as well. Welcome. I made an announcement on Patreon earlier so I can, well, and I told my parents, so I can tell you folks now. We are going to be moving. We have decided we will be moving. So yes, the studio will be getting torn down and then completely rebuilt in a new place. Probably differently. Take some of the learning I've done with this space and change up what we're going to do. But we will be moving. Ugh, these roll-ins. This extrusion doesn't hold the roll-ins very nicely. Like they're a little loose. I think they're going to work, but it's not ideal. We'll see. Have fun transporting all the machines and spools. I am very, very much not looking forward to all of that. Transporting machines on a good day is not a fun thing. Transporting machines cross-country, entirely cross-country, is going to be awful. At least you can insert hammerheads. Yeah, hammerheads they serve an excellent purpose. My problem with them is I swear half the time, hammerheads just don't turn, you know? A makerspace is always in a state of change, so fresh space can be very exciting. Absolutely. Absolutely. Where are you moving to? Portland. We are moving to Portland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are moving to Portland. So, yep. Portland, Oregon. Gonna be a couple hours away. We have not found a place yet. We're not moving till the summer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't count wrong. We're not moving till the summer, but Portland, Maine's only like an hour from you. Yeah. Nope. Heading north. Why the move? Ruby's dad. You thinking like a pod box for shipping everything? No, they're way too expensive. Way too expensive. We are going to be renting a moving truck, and I'm going to drive it cross country. Probably a moving truck and a trailer, because putting toolboxes into a moving truck is a nightmare. I've done it. It's not a great time. Yeah, so. All right. Yeah, Ruby's dad. Ruby's dad is in cross country stream. Well, we'll see. Ruby's dad's just outside of Portland, and he's 79 years old. She wants to spend more time with him. So we're heading out there. Her parents are... Ruby and I are the exact same age. Thanks for the 0G mods. You are welcome, Timor. Summer move, they're the best. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I wonder what the future tenants will think of this makerspace. Probably impressed. It's getting torn down. Like, this whole space is getting torn down, so... That's going to be part of the real pain of my stuff. Of all this. Part of the pain of it is going to be having to break it down. Will you be looking for a bigger studio? Looking for? No guarantee we'll get it. Because we want to have a home. I still want it to be in the home. So... yeah, we're moving. So, yeah, we'll see. No guarantee I'll be able to find, streaming every day. Yeah. And honestly, I'm probably going to be streaming more for the foreseeable future. Because honestly, this does create a couple of problems for me. Moving, that is. The biggest problems it creates for me is a lot of the projects that I had planned, like on the schedule for Mandic Really, are like big household projects. Like I was going to build a catio with a whole bunch of like 3D printed cat stuff, like a cat tower and stuff, and like shelves that they could climb on outside here. Well, obviously I can't do that now. Like a lot of the projects that I had were all house related stuff, like household furniture and whatever. That was what I had planned for Mandic Really for the next couple of months. Now I can't do that stuff, so I'm really not sure what videos I'm going to be making for a little while. Somebody asked, we're in Philadelphia. We are currently in Philadelphia, so it is a complete 100% cross-country move. The only way we could be further is if we were going through New Jersey, which where Philadelphia is right on the border. Don't forget to leave a like. Thank you, Inexpensive Prince. Thank you. Looking to move to the East Coast, closer to New Haven, where your daughter is. I lived in New England. I love New England, personally. I love New England, personally. So, yeah. Honestly, I had been pushing for us to move back to New England. I lived there for a handful of years. I lived in Massachusetts for a handful of years, and I loved it. But Portland, Oregon area, I mean, it's basically New England, but in the Pacific Northwest instead of with less snow. So, yeah. 3D print mounting brackets. I'm probably going to build... I'm sure I'm going to do a video on how I'm going to move all the printers as, like, one of the videos. Like, I'm probably going to build crates for the Volrons and stuff. I'm probably going to build wood crates and, like, 3D print hold downs to hold them, like, mount them rigidly inside so they're not, like, shaking and breaking and all that. So, that will be some video stuff. Anyway, what I meant by talking about that is, because I don't exactly know what I'm going to be doing on Mandic Really for the next couple of months, I'm probably going to be on here more often. Like, you know, drive a concrete mixer in Mass, and truck guy, you said you're in Mass. I lived in East Hampton for a handful of years. I really liked it, personally. I liked it. All right. I'm going to try and install this short one first. Got to farm a moving vlog series like LTT. I'll probably do a moving vlog. I don't know. Like, it's probably not going to be that interesting to a lot of folks. I feel like it's worth doing it. I'm going to do it. And maybe we'll do some streams along the way. I would love to do like stop along the way and visit some various 3D printer companies or other content creators across the country. But because we're going to be moving with a truck full of all of our stuff, we're going to have 3 cats, 1 dog, Ruby, and potentially 1 more person. It's too much stuff for me to stop and like film videos along the way. So it's going to be like a moving vlog, pretty much, yeah. Running a 3D printer during the move. I'm expecting I'm probably going to leave one of my V0s out of a box so I can print along the way. I do expect to do that. Maybe I can get like a Anchor or something to sponsor me with one of those like battery banks, because that's the other massive problem that I have here is because I don't know what videos I'm going to be making between now and the move. I can't take sponsor obligations because sponsors want to know when things are going to be posted, and a lot of them want to know what they're going to be put up against, like what the video is going to be about. A lot of them want to know that stuff. And if I can't tell them what the video is going to be about, or I can't promise that on this date I'm going to have a video out because I'm in a moving truck moving across the country, I don't have time to edit a video, it's going to be interesting. Have your cats traveled in cars before? My cats howl for the first 2 hours, then they're quiet. That's pretty much how mine are. They've traveled. I got them in Pennsylvania, went to Massachusetts with them, took them from Massachusetts down to North Carolina, and then from North Carolina back up here to Philadelphia. They've done. They don't love it, but they're fine. Dual Y motor will help to increase the speed or at least stability. Depends on how it's designed. Portland, Gray Lion, you visited and would like to move there. But my mom's not doing well. That stinks. Yeah, understandable, but that stinks. All right, that one started. Nice. Yeah, we're going to be moving far away from my folks, unfortunately. But my folks are significantly younger than Ruby's folks. Her parents... Ruby and I are the exact same age, but her parents are like 15 years older than my parents. So... there's no good way of saying it other than the likelihood is that she will lose her parents before me. So we need to spend time factoring that in. So no good way to say that. Could make a how to travel with a printer video. You know, I had planned to do that because I've got to go down to North Carolina to work on my dad's truck before we move. And I had planned to do that, a video like that there. Like take one of my printers with and like how I prep and like what printer I'm choosing for what reason. So I might still do that yet. Don't know. I've still got to go down there and work on that at some point. I think that's weird. Yeah. Lining these up is proving a little annoying. So, yep, moving to Portland-ish. We're going to be outside the city. We're not going to bother trying to find a place in the city. Her dad's outside of the city, and there's no reason to pay city prices if we don't have to. Hopefully we can find a larger studio. Hopefully it'll make for... We're looking to get we live in a row home in Philadelphia right now. Is it going to be a permanent move? No intention of it not being. Ruby has lived in Portland previously. I never have. She did previously. And I think I'm going to like it. So worst case, maybe not. If, for some reason we have to come back from my parents and family. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I can always fly to visit my folks. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, at the moment it is intended to be a permanent move. Ruby and I both, as I was hinting at there, talking about my travels I have had, we've both moved around a lot in our lives, and we both don't want to keep doing that. We kind of, that's the fun fact. We both want to keep doing that, but we're also adults and need to not do that. So, we need to settle somewhere to make a good life for ourselves. So, ABS smells from the motel room. We'll get the knock for running a lab. Yeah, that's a concern. It's ABS, I swear. It's melting plastic. That's a new drug. Good thing about your job is as long as you have internet and a place to print, you're good. Absolutely. And that's like, I love Philadelphia. I love this city. But Ruby has long said, why are we paying so much where we live when you barely leave the house? A detached studio would be nice. Yes and no. I do agree with that a lot in a lot of ways. It would be nice to not be tied to the house, except middle of the night. I often come down and check on prints, or like come down and change a spool that I know I'm going to have to change to get the print through the night, or swap colors on a print. And also the animals. Like Jean and Domino are constantly in the studio. All of the animals come into the studio and hang out with me all the time. I leave the door between the house and the studio open, a crack, and they can open and close the door themselves to come out. And like, I love that. And I would lose that if the studio was detached from the house. So there's pros and cons. We shall see. Hopefully we can find it. And if it's detached, it's detached, and we'll figure it out. I really should have better cameras set up on all my printers so I can monitor, something I should be doing. But I don't bother, because I can just walk down and check them at any time. There's always the, leave work at work thing that a lot of people, like, I know Joel has a studio away from his house. Clayton, Uncle Jesse, has a studio away from his house. But they also both end up filming at their houses often enough, too. So my cat's pretty good about not playing around with 3D printer. Yeah, all mine are great about not playing with them. They never mess with them. Filament. If there's filament on the floor, they love to play with filament, like little scraps that get knocked off of a print or something. They play with those like crazy. Vinny, you just got back. What'd you miss? We're talking about the fact that we're moving. All right, one side is loosely together. Got all the T-nuts started, so just need a huge basement. Basement's not ideal because bigger machines can't fit through a door. So if I'm going to build something like a Phoenix, I need a bigger space, first of all, if I'm going to build a Phoenix. If I'm going to get a bigger laser cutter than I currently have, there's a few things I would like to upgrade, and they won't fit in the basement. And my toolboxes won't happen. These toolboxes, these Husky ones for this background, they are easy to move. My professional mechanic toolboxes, my Matco toolboxes, weigh thousands of pounds. I need a good garage. Yeah, I need a garage door. Evening, Carrie. Thank you for popping by. It is late your way, so thank you for stopping by. If you had a studio outside of the house, you'd end up wanting to sleep there. Totally. As would I, and Ruby would not be fond of that, so... Jackie dude, what you doing, man? Yeah, Ruby wouldn't be fond of that, so... We'll see. We'll see what we end up with. She's already found... She's been looking for, property, and we're looking to rent to start. We're just going to rent, get our feet on the ground there, and then go from there. And I like the rainbow of filament in your background. I intend to set up moving toolboxes is always a pain. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to I'm gonna have to get a trailer or something to roll them into, because getting them into a truck isn't happening without a lift gate, and a lot of these moving companies don't rent trucks with lift gates. So no state sales tax in Portland. That's true. There's a lot of stuff in Portland. West 3D, we were talking about. There's a link in the description, my affiliate link to West 3D. West 3D is based in Portland, Beaverton, but just outside of Portland. West 3D is there. I haven't told them I'm moving there yet, but I'm going to, and see if we can't do some fun stuff. Maybe before my studio gets set up, I can go over to West 3D and like make some content with them to get out videos. Joel, 3D printing nerd, is in Seattle, which is only a couple hours north of Portland. Protopasta is in Vancouver, Washington, which is just over the border from Portland into Washington State. So probably try and hook up with Protopasta and make some content too. So yeah. Alright, I gotta line these up where they gotta be. Make sure I'm putting enough in. Originally from Western Washington myself, had some friends down in the Portland area, but it's been years. Yeah, we were there like a year or so ago. I've only ever been there once. We went to visit her dad a year or so ago. Steven, welcome! So, I've only been once, but I liked it. I liked what I saw, the vibe, and I used to live in Austin, Texas. It felt like Austin, Texas in an environment I like a lot better. Can you CDs? Welcome! It felt like that kind of like hippie environment, but more in the woods, which I like. I like green, I like mountains, I like snow. I know it's not a super snowy place, but it's closer to snowy places than Texas, so. I wish slicers had a way to save profiles to the actual printer, especially for Clipper and Moonraker. That is a great idea. That is a great idea. There's got to be a way that like Orca Slicer could offload the config file for its printer into the memory in Clipper, so that like from an update or something you could like reload it. There's got to be a way. I'm not a programmer, so I'm just making shit up, but maybe. Sounds like a fun project. And then also Vancouver is not too far away from. It's a hell of a lot closer than it is here. Like Vancouver, Canada, is a heck of a lot closer. So I don't know. Try and hook up with LTT or something. See if I can't get my face in front of their audiences. I doubt it, but you never know. I have a couple contacts there. A couple of folks who work at LTT follow me. So, for past and present. Where's that hole? Can't see what I'm doing. LTT's in Langley. I know. They're not in the city proper. Why is that? Weird. We were up there for LTX. We really liked Vancouver. Like, Ruby legit was like, we should move here about Vancouver when we visited. Except for the expense of the damn place, of course, but you do better 3D printer reviews for them, yeah. You definitely do it, but they are getting quite into 3D printing at the moment. Yeah, they are getting more into it. I know, like, fuck. The one engineer guy they have follows me. We follow each other. Step away. You're moving west. Yes, out west. We are heading west. All the way. I told my dad this morning. I was like, hey, give you a heads up. We're moving far away. We're moving west. And he's like, how far? Or how far west? And I said, all the way. We could technically go a little further till we hit the ocean, but... yeah. Can't wait to leave Pennsylvania. I love Pennsylvania. I'm from here, born, raised, and whatever, and I've lived other places. I really like it here. Just moving because, you know, something different. And for the reasons of getting close to my father-in-law. Spend more time with him and all that. Carrie, when do you leave? Unknown yet. Our lease here is up in August. We're fairly sure. We got to look and double check. Cannon Beach, they filmed part of the Goonies there. Yeah, we really want to go there and check out the place. We last time we were when we went to LTX, actually. When we went to LTX in Vancouver, we were going to take a train from Vancouver down to Portland to visit her dad for a couple of days. And we were going to go to that town in Oregon on that trip. And then Ruby and I both caught COVID in Vancouver. So we couldn't go. Been in New Hampshire most of my life, Maine for a stretch, thinking about moving to Kentucky or Tennessee. I was never personally sold on New Hampshire for myself. I worked in New Hampshire for years. When I lived in Massachusetts, I worked in New Hampshire. I had the worst commute. It was an hour and 15 minutes one way. It was like 60 miles or 70 miles, I forget, somewhere around there. And it was uphill both ways. Yes, I'm telling a story like that. It was uphill both ways on a fairly back road that didn't get cleared very well when it snowed. So, yeah, it was not fun. Rindge, New Hampshire. I worked in Rindge, New Hampshire. There's like a screw underneath here holding this up. There's a point where like two screws stick up underneath of here, and they're holding this up a little bit. I'm betting this is probably one of the differences of the Neptune 4 versus the 3. I'm gonna have to look. This side doesn't have any screws sticking up. Why is it called Pennsylvania? Is there a factory? There's a factory. It's called Crayola. The Crayola factory's here. And chocolate. We got crowns and chocolate. It's a child's paradise, I guess. I want to move to Oregon, Washington in the future. It's West Coast, but not California. Also, I like big trees and mountains. Yeah. Yeah, Ruby's mom is in California. She's in California. That's where Ruby's from, is California. But we can't justify the expense of California. So I hope that's gonna fit. I think we might have found the first problem here of installing this on this machine. Is there's two screws that were interfering with this mount. I don't know if it's hard to see, but there's a screw right there. There's a cutout in this piece for it. But there's a second one that was here that was holding it up, and that's not great. I think I'm gonna have to take these two out and hope that they're not holding anything important. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna have to take off the electronics box and check it before we fire this up, I think. Don't know. Don't know if those are doing anything important or not. Don't forget Yingling. I don't drink, so. I was also never a big fan of there when I notched the plate around it, maybe. Yeah, I'm just going to leave them out. There are notches in the plate, but they don't line up. So I'm wondering if that's not one of the differences of the Neptune 4 Max kit versus the 3 Max kit. Probably. I'll look. Y-axis guides. Yep, there's a bunch of different cutouts in the Neptune 4 Max one. Let's look at it real quick. There's a whole bunch of cutouts in this that aren't in the pieces I have for the 3 Max. But The 3 Max only has a couple cutouts. So there's one of our big differences. They updated the 3 Max one to have the same cutouts, I'm sure, so it could match. You know, why make multiple kits? But we're going to work around it. See what we got to do. Hopefully it's nothing particularly important that those screws are going into. We'll find out. Can you fit a flathead screw? Not really. This piece, these L pieces sit on this piece, and there's no countersink area in there. I took the 2 screws out and nothing fell off inside. So once we get the Y rails in place, I'll flip it over and take a look at the electronics box and see what those screws were holding. That's all I can do. I could go grind some freaking openings in these, but YOLO. That's what I'm doing. I don't feel like doing that. I have to fire up an air compressor, make a bunch of racket on stream. I'm not doing that. I'm not set up for that yet. Maybe in the next shop. Maybe in the next studio we'll like make a point of setting it up so it could be like I can stream from anywhere in the space. That'd be cool. Right now I only have this side wired up for a stream, so... And the air compressor is on the complete other side of the shop. Don't even check, just run it. I mean, I'm worried it's holding a power supply or something like that where it might be a problem. We'll find out though. We will find out. The only factory making Harleys in the US at this point is in York. I did not know that. I did not know that. Camera mount like what Inheritance Machine has where the camera can go anywhere. I would love to do that. We'll see. Because ideally, the next studio space, I'll have some way of dividing both sides of a shop so I can make more dirt mess on one side than the other and not make a, like, I don't want 3D printers getting metal grinding dust in them all the time, you know? So ideally, I'll be able to separate it, so we'll have to figure that out. Where'd you source this? These are from TB Strawn 3D. The link is in the description to them. It's they're linked in the description. That is an affiliate link. They provided this kit for the Neptune 3 Max. This is a 4 Max. I don't blame them for the fact that these don't fit. We already just looked. They have updated this, so... yeah. Not really their fault. .3D print a camera mount and for Gene and trainer to follow me around. Yeah, that's a good idea. Change the camera angle quick. Boop. Yeah. Put in these last couple screws. There we go. Gene the camera cat. Gene the camera cat. That would be fun to have a remote Gene cam. Her perspective on every project. Need to hire somebody to do voiceover for her. What's this guy doing? Does he have any idea what he's doing? No. He's winging it. He's winging it. Gene the camera queen. All right. Cool. And we got our rail mounts in, but not tight. I don't know exactly where in the range of motion they need to be, if there's a specific spot. She was disappointed the enclosure wasn't a cat house. Yes, I know. All right, I'm gonna look at the instructions again real quick. I don't know if it says about positioning these. Secure the short beam to the profile. Starting from the holes in the long beam, secure the... Alright, it looks like I can put the rails in and probably still access these screws, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Put the rails on, which means I need to grease them quick. So they are MGN9 rails. They provided MGN9 rails with short carriages for the Y-axis. So the Y-axis has the tiny little short carriages. Not a ton of preload on these. Feels like probably like these two feel a little bit different, which is not ideal. Probably Z0 low preload, which makes sense because they can't guarantee that these two rails are perfectly perpendicular to each other. So you want the ever so slightest bit of give between these. So why not build her a clipper powered cat house, like a cat bed? Maybe we will. Maybe the new studio will factor that in. Like a little spot for her to hang out in the background of my streams with a clipper-powered bed heater. I like it. I like it. I could use like an Ender... Honestly, I could use an Ender 3 bed. Kipper. I could use an Ender 3 bed and just limit the power output of it so it just only, you know, can reach 40 Celsius or something like that. Something that's not going to burn her. It's not a bad idea. It's honestly actually a pretty good idea, because we have a cat tower in the house where we have a heating pad in it, which is just a home heating pad, and for like your back or whatever for a person. And there's two problems with it that I see. I don't like that it's because it's like a coil of wire inside of a heating pad, you know, a flexible heating pad. I worry the cats are going to claw it and like get into the conductors. And with a heat bed from a 3D printer, it would have aluminum between the conductor of heat and the bed, so they couldn't do that. Just have to, you know, fully encase the wiring so they couldn't reach it. That's ridiculous. You just gave me an actually good idea out of that. Thank you. I'm going to put it in the idea bank. It's in the idea bank. Add some LEDs and a webcam. I want to have a webcam for on her bed, so like right now where she's sleeping, she could still be on the stream. So that's a great idea. I could build a little cat bed that's heated, has LEDs to match the aesthetic of everything. Maybe I'll make it like a spaceship theme or something like that. And it can have its own webcam that we can feed into the stream, so there could be like a cat cam. Like right now she could be up here in the corner of the screen while we're streaming. So even when she's not up here on the bench, she can still be part of the streams. I like it. I like it. All right. Oh, I could add a load sensor so it kicks on when she gets in the bed. Great idea. Great idea. I like it. I like it. I gotta grease these rails. I'm about to start putting them on. I need to grease them. Steve builds. Yeah, Charlie Cam. I know. I know. I know, like, Grant does that too, doesn't he? Grant sometimes has his cat. Is she chipped? She is chipped, yes. Oh, I could use one of the RFID readers to detect. Then I could set it up so each cat could have their own temperature. That's a good idea. It'd be great if it was an older printer frame and make it look like a printer and all. That's a fun idea too. Use a max bed. I've got a leftover bed for my Ender 5 Plus, the original bed for my Ender 5 Plus. So it's a little bit smaller than this, but still a really good size. Some good ideas, folks. Some good ideas. All right. I need to grease these. I'm gonna wipe them down with alcohol quick. Don't spray alcohol. 355. It's like 370 by 355. It's like 370 by 360 or something like that. The the Creality Ender 5 Plus is a lot bigger than Creality rates it at. Like mine, with running Clipper on it and the Core XY conversion, I can get like 350. I think my build volume on my Mercury 1 is somewhere around 360 by 370. Yeah, so. Could look like an old Ultimaker, wooden Ultimaker. That's a fun idea. There's a lot of ways we can go with the design of it. Don't spray it, drink it. Yeah. Mobilux grease. Get some Mobilux in here. Ooh. And grease up these carriages. Let's start out here in the middle more. If anybody's not familiar with what I'm doing, I'm pushing grease through the back hole into the carriage. Back hole of the linear rail into the carriage, so it packs the grease inside of there. Pack it into the bearings. Whew, fuck. Hurting my hand today. Am I even getting grease in there? Yeah, but not. Feels like I'm not. Feels like I'm not. There we go. There we go. Just had to free up a little bit. Elegoo puts the 4max at 420 by 420, but Orca puts it at 430 by 430. Yeah, it's a boundary area. A lot of printer companies don't like you going all the way to the edge, and a lot of stock beds don't heat very well to the edge, so that's understandable. You know, if your temperature at your bed edge is a lot lower, it could cause print issues, so understandable. Isn't like thick grease bad if you're running fast speeds? I thought you wanted thin oil. You want your bearings to last. I don't care if I'm limiting my speed the ever so slightest bit. I want my bearings to last, and packed grease is the only way they're going to last. They're not intended to be used with light oil, long term. So. Doesn't look like the dust boots on this don't have a grease port, so I won't be able to grease them after they're installed. Precise printer parts beds don't come with a heater. They don't come with a heater. They do not. I really like Fabrico's edge-to-edge heaters. I'm quite happy with those. I run those on a handful of machines. I really like them. Which that's good for... Those are good for evenly heating your bed because the heater element goes almost completely to the edge of the bed. But yes, the precise printer parts beds show you the difference. Can really show you how drastic the difference is from the bottom side of the bed to the top side. It's kind of amazing. I could show you on my... I could show you on my Voron, my 2.4. I have Clipper set up to read both sensors on my 2.4. Ay. I don't know why this is being so difficult to push grease today. I really need to get a better grease gun. I have a better grease gun. I just need to load it with grease, honestly. I have one. I just need to load it with grease. There we go. This thing is like really, really difficult to push today. I don't know why. Let me stab down through here, make sure it's not clogged up in some way. Nope. Thank you for reminding you to get some more grease. I bought a tube recently. Buying a tube of this stuff it's a pain to put into these syringes, but it so much cheaper that way. I went to Granger and got like a tube of EP2 for like $9. All right. It's just really not fun to put in. Take a heat gun, heat it up a little bit. Not a bad idea, actually. Just a little. Yeah, not a lot. Heat gun is always at the edge of the bench and plugged in. I think my phone's ringing in my pocket, but I can't reach for it right now. Alright, that might help. Let's find out. I don't want to push it much more. Of course, when my hands are all greasy, somebody calls me. Alright, that felt good. That helped a little bit, not a lot. Alright. I'm still jealous that you can walk into a Granger. I think anybody can walk into Grangers these days. I mean, I have an account, but you can also, anybody can make an account. Anybody can make an account, really, I think. Just put down a business name and, you know, you give them your, if they require any tax information, give them your social. I ran my business through my social as a sole proprietor for years. I only this year did I finally set up an LLC, incorporate. Clean the grease out of the hole now. And one greased. God, that hurt my hand. Pain. The pain. Things we do. Things we do for 3D printing. All right, clean off the excess. A little bit. All right, and now I can put this on. And check who called me real quick, make sure it's not like something critical. Granted, they should call again. Could you post your Fabrico affiliate link? Is there anywhere I can go for all of them? There isn't right now, and I keep meaning to make a page for that on like my website, just like all my affiliate links. I don't have a Fabrico affiliate link, actually. I don't know if Fabrico has an affiliate program. I should ask Hector. They're sponsoring my trip. They are sponsoring my trip to Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival 2024. So I appreciate you sending business their way anyway, even if I don't make money off of it. Thank you. Hector's a good dude, so he's always supportive of my projects and everything. So I don't mind sending business his way and not making any money on it. Oh no. But I don't have an affiliate link. You going to Murph? No, I won't be going to Murph. I have no intention of getting to Murph. Ruby's done work probably. Have a business account, but it's 3 hours away. That stinks. All right, get these hammerheads out of my way. I don't need them anymore. We're not going to be using them, so they can go. Excited to meet people at Rocky Mountain. Yes, Rocky Mountain ought to be a great time. I'm not going to Murph. The way my year is shaping up, especially now that we're moving, like, no way. I haven't seen details of when Murph is either. And also, it's the show I least care to attend. No offense to the show whatsoever. None intended. Just don't know if it's my vibe. Getting there, everybody always tells me it's kind of difficult to get there from like anywhere flying in, because you got to fly into Chicago and then still drive quite a distance. Finding vegan food will probably be really difficult for me there. From everybody I talk to, they say that it's probably not the show for me. Everybody I know who knows. So, yup. Okay, now we got our screws for this. Like 3 hours from any major city. Yeah, that's one of the problems. Like, I only have so much time to be doing these kinds of things. I want to go to Smurf again this year. I really want to get to England for Smurf again this year and probably bring Ruby with me this time. So, like, that's a big expense, too. Especially now that we're moving across country further away. It's going to be even more involved for us to get there. So, Rocky Mountain and Smurf are what I intend to hit. Ruby's not coming to Rocky Mountain. But she's not coming to Rocky Mountain. But, yeah. Hopefully I'll get her to England for Smurf, though. Can't see these dang holes. Yeah, these hit. Are there other screws for this? These screws kind of hit the base plate a little bit. Starting from the holes, use the... It's got to be M3 by... The only M3s they provide are M3 by 6s. Yeah, the only M3s they provide are M3 by 6s. It's got to be them. But when they tighten them down, they kind of hit the bottom plate a little bit. Manchester will be easier if you can get a direct flight. Yeah, I know. I'm sure I could get a direct flight here, but there's... Oh, with that grinder. Yeah. No, we're running it how it is. That's what this project is. The name of this project is YOLO. This is Project YOLO. That's the name of this one. Is Ruby a tropical fish person? No, she's not. Nope. She likes water and scuba diving, or not scuba diving, snorkeling. So like maybe she might like tropical fish okay in their environment, but definitely not like a fish person, like keep fish. Go. Move that out of the way. No, Ruby Danger. It's a fish person that has a lot of tattoos. That's not my wife. Not mine. Her name did originally come from her. It's not her given name. It is her chosen name, and it's what she goes by. But it came from her roller derby days. And when she started tattooing, she took her roller derby name as her tattooer name. And it's just been that way since. One of these lands right on that opening. Gotta skip a couple. Not ideal. I'm so shaky today. I miss playing roller derby. So does she, but she doesn't miss the aches and pains, especially now, you know, as we get older. Especially as we get older. All right, now I gotta line up at this end. Is that blue Loctite you're dipping in? Yes. It is a tube of the gel, Loctite gel. Yes, it is. Since all this stuff's going to be underneath the bed, it will be inaccessible later. So definitely don't want things coming loose. don't know if that was right or not. I can't tell. Yep, that looks right. Why'd she end up stopping? I don't honestly remember. That was before we met, so I don't really know. I would assume aches and pains, or it might be when she started tattooing, I think. I think it might be when she started tattooing and she couldn't afford to be injured. So. Gray Lion, good luck with the upgrade. Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by. Is there anything on the printer you'd use red Loctite on? No. There's nothing on a printer I would use red Loctite on. Red Loctite on stainless fasteners in aluminum is not a great call. Stainless fasteners already, which there's a point too that I haven't mentioned. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. If you're putting stainless fasteners into aluminum, you should be using something, whether it be Loctite or a Loctite or anti-seize, because aluminum or stainless going into aluminum has a chance to gall, same as it does when stainless goes into stainless. So, what's the difference between Loctite colors? The strength at which they hold. Blue is a lighter hold than red. Pixel finally resolved your YouTube live stream issues. You can stay and watch now. Awesome. Love to hear it. Yeah, it's the force required to break them free is effectively what it is. Basically, red holds tighter, blue holds less, which blue is really good when you're putting parts into aluminum, as we are. Yeah. Stainless doesn't have a problem with red. If I was putting stainless into steel, I could use red. Stainless into aluminum with red is just asking for it to get stuck and gall. So, in my opinion, that's what I have always done when I'm building stuff, is basically anything going into aluminum I use blue, and in steel or in stainless I could use red if need be. Okay, what screwdriver is that? That is the some cheapy Amazon one. Let me pull it up real quick. I've been using it for a while and it works great. IFU. It's called an IFU screwdriver. I'll drop it in chat. There it is. It's like 30 bucks. It's not very strong, but it really gets the job done. It's great for running things in and then tightening them with a regular screwdriver or a hex wrench by hand. I also just put it in the description of the stream. Carrie, you're out. Thank you very much for being here. Always appreciate it. Send love to Jean when she wakes up. I will let you know, or I will say, I will pass the love on. She's a snail right now, so. Alright. Yeah, this thing, it's great for like this, just running screws in, and then I'll come back with a hex wrench, or I'll probably use the LTT screwdriver and tighten them down with that. I haven't been using it for a long time, and now with the, after building the Prussian enclosure where I had so many screws I had to install, I used it again, and I remembered how much I liked it. Remembered how much I liked it. All right. I'll come back and tighten these after I do the other side rail. And I can tighten everything at once. Now we got to grease the other side rail. Gloves back on. See if Ruby responded. Oop, not what I meant to do. I accidentally called her. Just meant to check. Oh, I had hoped this would go faster than this, but here we are. I had hoped this would be a quicker project. What size are the rails? They are all MGN 9s. It uses 3D NT printing. Welcome. They're all MGN 9s. 2 of them on the Y-axis kit and a single MGN 9 on the X-axis. Kind of wish that was an MGN 12, but here we are. It's not under as much load as a Core XY would be, I guess. I don't know if it really matters. I forget which ones are which. C is the longer carriage. No, C is the short carriage. I forget which is which. C is the shorter carriage. Okay, so the Y-axis is a pair of dual carriage. There's 2 carriages on them. Dual carriage MDN 9Cs. So Y-axis uses Cs, a pair of Cs, and the X-axis uses an H, a single H. So, yep. Hope this 94. Hoped this would go faster, but here we are. Me relocating my server in a new chassis. I feel that pain. I'm not looking forward to transporting. I'm not looking forward to transporting my servers across country. I posted on Twitter about that earlier. I want to find out what the best way to do that is, and not worry about damaging my hard drives. I feel like I should probably sign up for like Backblaze or something and try to upload everything to the cloud, to like off-site storage before the move, just to be 100% certain. But I don't want to pay for that too, so... But my NAS is a big part of my business, so... Not thrilled about the idea of losing. Pixel, yes, you missed. We are moving. I mentioned that early in the stream. We are moving cross-country from Philadelphia to Portland. How much storage do you need? I'm using about 40 terabytes right now. I think I'm using about 35 terabytes right now, and I have 55. Get some Pelican cases. That's probably what I'll need to do. I'll probably need to get a Pelican case. Maybe I'll laser cut foam. That'll be a project I can do on Mandic, really. Disassembling my buy SSDs and write them off. And never mind, it's that much. Yeah, that would be a lot. It would cost more than the move. Yeah. Oh, Ruby's calling again. Hi, Beeb. I tried to just check to see if you responded to me after I texted you and accidentally called you. At least half an hour, if not more, so. Okay. Okay. Thank you, baby. Okay. I'll see you soon. Chickies? Sounds good. Okay. Bye. Yeah, she's getting a ride from my buddy to get her home. Pelicans and open cell foam is the best thing I know. Yeah. Anything weighty and ship it on its own. Yes, my PC. So my main PC, I'm going to be time to hit up Kioxia. Yeah, I wish I had those kind of contacts. Call up LTT and ask them for 45 drives set up. My main PC, I'm definitely taking the GPU out of. I got a 3090 in there, and that's absolutely coming out. So my main PC is water cooled, so I'm gonna drain the water out of it and take the 3090 out and put it in a box separate. And then the NAS, we have 2 NASs. Got sucked into the project. It happens. Here we are. There was the wife calling. Yeah, and drain the water, take out the GPU, and then the hard drives are going to come out of the NASs. So, yep. That's a good idea though. That could be a fun, like, fairly quick Mandic Really project video. Making a Pelican case solution. Why Portland? That's where my wife's father lives. It's where my father-in-law lives, and we want to be close to family. Closer to her family. Her mother's in California too, so West Coast and all that. Yep, closing to aging family. And I live in Philadelphia right now. I'm not particularly worried about bad cities. It's like when I moved to Austin, I remember one day somebody told me, oh, this is the bad part of Austin over here. Don't go over there. And we're like, where are you from? You moved here. And we're like, Philadelphia. And they're like, never mind, you can go anywhere. If you ever come to Cali, happy to meet up. Where in Cali are you? Well, my mother-in-law is in San Diego. And we'll definitely be in California a few times this year. How's the video about multicolor without an AMS going? Haven't started it yet. I was busy with other stuff this morning. I'm probably going to get to filming it tomorrow, I think. Because I have to run a handful of prints for that video at the minimum, so. Yeah. Alright, this rail's ready. But yeah, I'm going to work on filming that tomorrow. Yep. I might try and stream the 0.2 tomorrow as well. We'll see. Depends on how everybody else's streams are going. Yeah, my mother-in-law's in Escondido. My mother-in-law's in Escondido. What time for the 0.2 if I stream? It'll be probably like 3 o'clock. I've got a meeting with our intern tomorrow afternoon, but I think it'll probably be like 3 o'clock. I'll look at my calendar and see if anybody else is streaming tomorrow. Steve, I know Steve has his Charlie's Angel stream on Saturdays. I don't feel too bad about going up against his. I try not to overlap streams with other people as much as I can. I don't feel too bad about overlapping with Charlie's Angels because that's a members only stream. So that's what I forgot to do today. I wanted to work on how much does this slow me down? A lot. Live streaming of stuff slows me down a lot. A lot. It slows me down a lot. I don't know how much exactly, but it's definitely significant. Definitely significant. I think I found my dream printer. Tiny T, side packed, and doomed. That sounds sick. It does sound pretty sick. Have you seen Zombie Hedgehog's side packed Trident build? I think it's just a side pack Trident. I don't think it's Tiny T. Maybe it's a Tiny T. It's beautiful anyway. Anybody interested, you can flash Debian to a Sonic pad and use it for run normal Clipper. So it's not a paperweight. Cool. I've got a spare one here. Something. What's the draw to side packing? A lot easier access. A lot easier access to the electronics, because you can access the electronics through the side, not having to flip the machine up, or even like even inverted electronics panel. Oh, Charlie's Angels is usually only once a month. Okay, I only just became a member of Steve's chat, so I don't know. Are you generating any income from streaming aside from super chats? A little bit. It's starting to make a little bit of money. I mean, like, I think it's like $100 right now, which is not nothing. I will be setting up channel memberships in the near future. So if anybody's interested in supporting in that way, I will be doing that. But, yeah. Yay. That hole does not get a screw. Want to add a little screen and controller to play Doom on a 3DP. What was it I was thinking about putting Doom on? Oh, I remember. I can't talk about it. I've got a project I want to do that on, but I can't talk about it yet. I still got one big studio project for the Mandic Rayleigh channel that I am going to do despite the fact that we're moving. And I want to do it in there. So just be silly and run Doom on it. Yes, yes, yes. This is for the investment in the Clipper Cat House. Thank you, Maximum Bombastic. Super thank you for the super thanks. That is very much appreciated. I think that absolutely has to happen. Yeah, thank you very much, Maximum Bombastic. Greatly appreciated, and I think that is an excellent idea we definitely have to look into. That'll be a good use for one of my Raspberry Pi Zeros that I don't really have a use for. I'm de-zeroing a couple of machines, and putting in full fat Raspberry Pi, so that'll be a great use for one of those. Clipperized cat house. Am I going to do a Micron Plus in the near future? I have no intention of doing one. Got to put Doom on a Tamagotchi. The Pi runs Linux, yes. Is it still accessible to use? I think it can be. I think it is possible to still access Linux through that is set up on the Pi. I never have. I have done it on. You can use a Zero for Ambilight TV. I have installed Linux. I have installed Clipper on a netbook before, like one of those tiny old computers from the early 2000s. I installed Linux on that netbook, or not Linux, Clipper, and it was still, I could still access Debian Linux on it, so I could use it as a Linux laptop and still run Clipper on it at the same time. I'm imagining Clipper running a giant XY across the ceiling while holding cat toys. That is another excellent idea. If I make a catio, I could run a Clipper like powered cat system, like toy system, like a runner to run them back and forth. That's a fun idea. I might have to add that to the list. Yeah, this hole's not lining up. Wow, my stream looks like crap on my end. Come on. Why is it not lining up? I just dropped a screw. I need the flashlight. Have a Clipper cat channel. Dang, those rails are long. Yeah, they are. I haven't even measured how long they are. I don't even know. Oh, there it is. Wow, that just reaches. They figured that out just right. Join Fabrico Micron Plus server, Discord server. There's super helpful stuff on there. Yeah, I know Aaron, I think Aaron finished his Micron Plus, hasn't he? Aaron does a lot of fun stuff. It's interesting that he won the machine that I gave away at ERF. Funny how that works out. Know a good way to make a heat press tool on a budget? Well, honestly, the VLMP, if you look up, I have a kit here. If you look up Atom Vector 3D's VLMP tool, it's open source. You can make your own by printing all the parts. It uses V-slot roller wheels, washers for counterweights. And just like you could tear down an old Ender 3 and make a VLMP out of it. It just uses a 2040 extrusion, a handful of printed parts, and some V-slot roller wheels. Everything else is printed, and then a soldering iron, of course. I need to put this damn thing together. So, like, you could self-source building one pretty freaking easy. Why did this chat just blow up, y'all? I want to... Seam saw, yeah. There's also Stealth Press, which uses a linear rail. It's going to increase your expense a little bit, and I don't really know that it's particularly necessary to have a linear rail. It's bling. It's bling. Might have the perfect spare parts after tearing down an Ender 3 for the Enderwire project. Yeah, there you go. You'll have your V wheels already, and maybe not the extrusion, but well, you might, if you have an original Ender 3, you might have the extrusion. So I don't know for sure, but I bet that Adam probably made that originally off of Ender 3 parts. I honestly don't know, but that would be my guess. Here's the problem with stainless hardware. I just put a screw in that I can't get back out. I put it in the wrong hole. It might live there now. All right. Last screw going in. Cool. All right. Now we can kind of center these up a little bit. I kind of center them up as best I can. I feel like this is unsupported at this end. The extrusion. Should I switch camera angles? I can't even tell. Yes, I did. I don't have OBS pulled up right now, and I lost my mouse on all my screens. Might be hard to see, but right here, this plate doesn't go all the way to this end of this extrusion. I feel like I want it to. I'm gonna take this last handful of screws out and see if I can't slide that down one whole direction. There we go. I got that screw. All right, let's see if I can get this in here now. I don't like the end of the rail floating. There we go. That looks better. I like that better. Yep. That works. Now it's not floating. Before they were butted up against each other, and I don't know that they need to. Cool. That feels better. Alright, run these down. Doom 2016 can't run on an RPi. Yeah, RPis are not that strong. I actually have an upcoming project where I'm a little concerned the Pi's not going to be strong enough for it, but... Alright. Now I got to tighten up the M4s. Can I get this with a hex wrench? I can. Good. I hope this is going together properly, because it really doesn't feel 100%. It feels like these should be like M3x5 screws. Maybe the RPi 6, yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe I should shove some kind of mini PC in the 2.4. Then it's the smallest and then use the smallest MCU I can find. I mean, you could. Loved my project video on a tattoo shop. Inspired me to do some practical prints. I've dove down Fusion 360 more. Awesome. I love to hear that. Thank you. That video did not perform well, so I appreciate that. That video did not perform well, but thank you. My nose itches. My hands are a little greasy. Not a good time to itch. Why is it always you get an itch when you have greasy or oily hands? It's the rule of mechanics. I would tighten these down as you get the bed on. I agree with that. I do, but you cannot access them. That might be a good idea to do with the rails. They're not tight yet. The rails themselves aren't tight. I'm tightening the mounts for the rails into the extrusions, which will be inaccessible later. So, but that is a good idea for the rails themselves. The ever so little bit of misalignment that will exist in the rails should help there. All right. I'm gonna look at their instructions real quick. Let's pull up the instructions page. There's that screwdriver that I linked already. Pull up the instructions video. I just want to see. I feel like there's a. I want to make sure I'm not missing something. Just look all the way through these instructions. It feels like these rails should be like located somewhere very specifically. Nope. Okay. I was worried this piece was going to interfere with the back here, but it won't. It won't. Never mind. All right. Now, we've got these adapter plates that go onto our rails. These plates here, and a handful of spacers that go on them. It shows spacers anyway. Oh, are they? Oh, I see. That's what the copper spacers are for. That's what it is. Okay, that makes sense. So we use M3 standoffs on the linear rails, and that's what these M3 standoffs go into the linear rails. And then our mount plates go on top of those. This makes some sense now. I thought there were spacer plates I had to like set down over screws. Nope. It's M3 standoffs. Or maybe 2.5, I can't tell. No, these should be M3. That's MGN 9s. The holes just look a little small for some reason. I'm gonna grab a wrench and tighten these as I go. It'll be harder to access as I do. Actually, I'm gonna go grab a socket to tighten these. Or did they come with... I think they came with a little T-wrench. I'm here. Yeah, they came with a dumb little T-wrench that doesn't fit. It fits. This way. Nope. I'm gonna grab a socket real quick to tighten these down. Fuzzy Tomato Head, thank you for joining. Have yourself a good one. Hope you got some good ideas for your stuff. Look out for that video soon. Right back. I'm gonna grab a socket. This standoff is very oddly sized. It's not 5mm, it's not 4.5, it's a M3 standoff that takes kind of a 3/16 socket. Not really. It's not a good fit. So I don't want to refund these, but That's not confidence inspiring. That's not confidence inspiring. All right. This looks so silly, putting these little standoffs in here to then put everything on top of, but it'll work. .5. Now, if 4.5 is 4.5 was too small. Now let me check. You know, I have an iFixit kit behind me. This whole setup seems a little sketch. It's definitely a pieced together type of design. But that's what I expected. I mean, it's also a budget kit. This is not a high cost setup for a linear rail conversion. Let me check the iFixit kit. See if one of these standoffs fits in there better. In one of those. Yeah, like 5mm is really close. 5mm is really close. And 3/16 is really close. Like these, they're about the same level of closeness, honestly. They're probably the same size. These don't feel like regular standoffs. It feels like these standoffs are slightly undersized versus your typical ones. Because I know what you mean. Like, I have used a nut driver on standoffs before. Are you doing the X-axis also? I want to do the X-axis. I don't know if we're going to be able to. We'll see. Because this kit is for Neptune 3 Max, not a 4 Max, so I'm not sure if it's going to fit. Because the tool head did change drastically between the two. Externally, it looks somewhat similar, but it's really not internally. So we'll see. I have a spare Neptune 4 Max toolhead, actually. So I can compare it before we get too deep into that. What was I thinking? Oh, I want to grab calipers and check this. What are these standoffs? Why not mount the L brackets with the base to the top so the linear rail is higher and you don't need the standoffs? Because it would be too high. I'm sure it's because it would be too high. 4.6mm. The standoff outside is 4.6mm. So just bigger than 4.5, but a fair bit smaller than 5. So. Yeah. The height difference would be pretty significant if those were flipped the other way around. What the heck kind of standoff is that? I don't know. Whatever they could come up with is my best answer. Which, odd, you think you want a bigger base for the piece that's going to sit on top of this to sit on top of, right? Silly. Silly. Alright. Now we got standoffs in our two MGN9C carriages. I don't want to tighten these too darn much, but I need to make sure they're tight enough that the screws that go into them won't cause any issues. And they're all Loctited. Cool. I might as well put the other plate on while we're here, so you can see how that goes. Circular goes out. So there's this plate that sits on top of here, and some countersunk screws that go into it. You can see it's countersunk. Where are the countersunk screws? M3 6s. Ruby's home. Just showed me what's for dinner. Yay! Yay! Alright. So these go down through here. into those standoffs. Where did I just put the rest of them? Yeah, here they are. Heading out. Can you CDs? Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. It's appreciated. All right. Don't do BTT TFT 35 SPI. Agreed. I do not like those screens. The SPI screens are just not good. They're just not good. I don't know why they haven't like completely revised those to make them better, because the Pi TFTs are great. The Pi TFT like 50 and 35 and 70 are great, but not the SPI ones. All right, there's one of our mounting plates installed. Cool, these rails are like... Hear that? You're not rubbing on anything, it's just how they sound. Never know what the screen's gonna be on. I just never had any luck with them working properly. Biggest problem I had with the TFT 35 SPI was it would cancel prints in the middle of a print. I had it cancel prints on me, and like dumb things where like it seemed like it was sending commands that shouldn't, or like it was interrupting G-code commands or something and just totally screwing up prints. I had to stop using it. I had one that was fine, but wave share screens are good. The Pi TFTs are good. Big Tree Tech Pi TFTs, they're great. The Pi 40 TFT 43, 50. Yeah. What do you think of the Giga? I'm really hesitant to say. I think it's darn big, and bigger machines, bigger problems, and I think a lot of people are going to be having a lot more problems with them. I really also worry that a lot of people who bought them aren't prepared for how big it is and how much filament it's going to eat and all of that. But I have no idea. Any experience with inland screens? Nope, haven't used any of them. Any tips, need to knows before I pull the trigger on the Fabrico Mercury 1.1 kit for your Ender 5 Plus build? Giga is Alan's real reason for moving. I wish. We'll see. We'll see if we can get a big enough studio. Maybe they'll request a Giga, but I doubt it. I want to know who has a legitimate use for the Giga. I'm sure there are people, but engineering, like furniture stuff, I don't know. Norton Tech, how's it going? Slower than I hoped, but it's going. Domino, calm down. Dog's freaking out because Ruby's home and she locked her in the studio with me. It's one of those, like, when it's fine when the door's open, but the second the door's closed, she's like, no. Architectural models, yeah. Big ass architectural models, sure. Domino, you're fine. The TFT 35 SPI is used only because the Manta board with the CB1, you can't use DSI screens. The new CB2 is coming out, and CB2 will have DSI. So CB2 is launching. I don't know about the compute module sized one. I know the full size, like RPi version of the CB2 does have DSI, and I'm fairly sure the RPi version or the CM module one will as well. That's exactly what I need it for. XD. Oh well. Okay, sorry. Somebody asked about the Mercury 1 kit. Biggest things to know with the Mercury 1 kit is no, the Giga comes with a 0.6mm nozzle. The Mercury 1 kit from Fabrico, it's great. It doesn't come with all the wiring you're gonna need. So like, I don't think it comes with any wiring for. You're gonna have to wire up your own end stop switches. So your x-axis and y-axis end stop switches, you're gonna have to solder wires to micro switches for that. Little bit annoying. I wish it came with micro switches pre-soldered and wire lengths run, or even just a way you could splice them. That's pretty much my only gripe with the kit. Other than that, if you read the instructions for the Mercury 1, you pretty much know what you're in for, and that's it. The biggest problem with the Mercury 1 build is the lack of a harness existing. Like you buy an LDO kit for a Voron, you get a harness. That doesn't exist with Mercury 1. So you're going to be making your own wiring stuff. The Mercury 1 kit from Fabrico does come with a longer and new heater element and thermistor if you have a hot end that can use those. That is good. So there's that. Alright, now this side plate can go on. Double check it, I got those all tight. I'm fairly sure I did. Wiring, extra soldering is not a huge issue. I've done it, redone it once with cable chains. What's one more rewire? Yep, cool. Then you're prepared. You probably have plenty of length in your wiring if you've done cable chains on it. So yeah, then yeah. Fabrico kit, great otherwise. I'm having awesome luck with my Mercury 1 with CAN sensorless homing, just simple umbilical to the top. I can't get behind sensorless homing. I just don't love it. Like, it's fine. But I prefer, like, I'll take the extra weight of a couple of sensors personally. I just prefer for my own self. I regret dumping my Ender 5 frame. I hated the stock Z-axis. It was pure wobbly garbage, yeah. I've never had... Well, no, that's not true. I had an Ender 5 S1 for a little while. That was okay on the Z-axis, but... Have I tried it with a sensorless config that cuts motor power? Don't think I have. No. Not that I'm aware of. Have not. The next thing I'm running sensorless on is the V0 build, because 0.2s are sensorless, so. I've noticed ambient temperature affects sensorless. Honestly, one of my biggest problems with sensorless is the repeatability. To ensure that I'm in exactly the same position every time. Because there are times where I have like had a print problem in the middle of a print, and I've like, if you want to go back and like cut G code and like try and rework the print to salvage it, and you need to home your axes, if it's not triggering in the exact same spot, you're going to get a layer shift. So like things like that, having reliable switches, there's no replacement for it. In my experience or opinion. I'll have to play with it though. Like I'm probably going to run sensorless on, I think I'm going to run sensorless on the next 2.4 probably. Just because of like packaging reasons to the tool head and whatever. So maybe I'll look at that. Hated centralist before the clipper and centralist config. Cool. All right, I'll have to look at it again. Domino, stop. Ava isn't super elegant, but it is very customizable. Ava is not super elegant, but it is very customizable, and it grew on me. I really didn't like it at first, but I've learned to like it. Have I tried throwing a manual switch on the Cheaty Q1 Pro? I haven't touched the Cheaty since I made that video. I haven't had any time. Considering buying a used Ender 5 Plus to get into DIY printers, is that weird? No. It's definitely a little more challenging than building a Voron, I personally think, to build a Mercury 1, just because there's not quite as big of a community. There is a good community on Discord, though. So, like, looking up videos and stuff about building one is a little more challenging. They have good instructions now, so no. The frame of the Ender 5 Plus is not the squarest thing on the in the world. So, little not ideal in that regard. Like, getting it really good and square, you'll be better off with a Voron build. But no, I don't think it's crazy. If you can get a really good deal on an Ender 5 Plus frame, don't pay a ton of money for one, I would say. But if you can get a good deal on one, go for it. I'll look at these instructions real quick, just make sure I'm not missing anything. There's a couple of washer, like Teflon washers or something, silicone washers that go on top of here, weirdly. I don't know why. I guess to get the right bed height for the belt? That's so strange. That's one thing that's really dumb here, is there's... the bed plate goes back on. You gotta put the bed plate back on, but it sits on dumb washers. Maybe they're for a little bit of misalignment give in the rails? Maybe? I don't know. There's like these silicone... they're literally silicone gasket washers that they want you to put on top of here. Whatever. This feels janky. It's probably to attain the proper height for the belt, otherwise the belt might skip off of the idlers, I'd assume. But I don't love it. Alright. Okay. Now I can put the screws in here. Are they M5s or are they M4s? They look like they're probably 5s. Maybe? 5x8s? Yes. I indicated my linear rails on my... I could use solid plastic washers. In the future, I may try mounting the bed solid to the mounts, but you said may run into belt issues. Yeah. I think that may be an issue. Okay, where's the socket for this? Or these are M5s now, which I don't think I've been doing much with M5s. Where'd I put my LTT screwdriver? Anybody see it? I don't see my LTT screwdriver. I didn't put it away. Oh, it was on my keyboard tray. It was on my keyboard tray. Dog, you are fine. She's pacing around. I saw it. Insert ad read here. They are not sponsoring me yet. So, I'm gonna have to wait for them sponsor dollars before they get an ad read. However much I like the screwdriver. All right. Waiting for the precision. I'm looking forward to the precision. I gotta bug them about that. I really like my iFixit kit, but I'm curious to see what they come up with their precision setup. Am I supposed to square this or anything? It doesn't really say to. Feels like I should be. I wonder how much misalignment there is in here. I'm gonna check quick. Not a lot. It's really not a lot, so okay. Since these are going onto like silicone gaskets underneath of here, I don't really want to tighten this down too much. In your opinion, are linear rods better or linear rails? It depends on a lot of things. Linear rods are not great for long lengths. So something like this, it would need to be supported and then the bearing can't be supported. Like linear rods can't span great distances or else they can bow and give and move, which is not great. Alright, I'm going to tighten down the back of the rail, then move this all the way to the front and tighten down the front, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, so, hard to say. Short distances, rods are great. Long distances, not so much. Alright, tighten down the end of this. And we can get tightening all these. Alright, time to start tightening. Working my way along. Tightening from the inside outward, as I like to do generally. I'm not doing I'm not going to bother with Z-axis rails on this, no. Honestly, this machine's probably not going to be around much longer. Any tip on foam tape for boron panels? Put it on the frame. Just put it around the perimeter of the opening on the frame where the panel's going to go, and it works easy, fine. Yeah, honestly, this machine's probably gonna be gone before too long. When I move, it's definitely not coming with me. I got plenty of EP2. I just picked up a whole 13-ounce tube. Myself. Oh, chamber temps made it slide. Oh, sorry to hear that. I didn't think about that. I should probably look at higher temperature foam. The Neptune 4 Pro linear rods are mostly for marketing. Honestly, that design, that's not proprietary, first of all. That linear rail like design, it's not proprietary. That's existed for a while. It's not uncommon on laser cutters, that linear roller design. That said, alright, bed frame's on. Now I just gotta tighten in these screws for these what the heck is that? There's 3 screws for this, but I don't know what the third one's for. Alright, alright, I think we have to reuse the original screws for these last couple ones. Domino, you are fine. Stop. What size are these screws? M4s? Looks like. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what the third screw in here is needed for. Use the same AB motors for the 9mm belt. I know this isn't a Trident build. No, you don't need longer shafts for the 9mm belt design, but it does. The 9mm belt design has bearing supports to support the other side of the shaft, so it's no longer a single shear, which is better because you're going to run less risk of the... Being as they're bigger belts, they could be pulled higher tension, and they could deform the shaft on the motor. How likely is that? I don't know, but I didn't want to risk it, so I got the longer shaft motors so that they have the bearing supports. Domino? Shut the fuck up. Dog's being a brat. Why are you being a brat? Mom is busy. Why are you being a brat? I'm fighting for finding a good color combo for my Micron. Any good color mixes? I mean, I'm always partial to teal and purple. I'm gonna dip. Pixel, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know how much longer we're gonna do this. Dinner should be ready any minute now. I know, I said the word. I said the word, didn't I? I did. I did. No, you get to floppy fish. You get to flounder. My dog's passed out. She was passed out till Ruby got home. And now she's interested. She was passed out. Alright, I can pull the belt tight. She just wants attention. That's what she wants right now. It's also, she gets fed twice at night. It's second time, probably. She thinks she's gonna get fed again. Alright. We got a back piece to put on here. This piece. Caps off the end of here. Oh, I think this might actually lower the bed a little bit. Maybe the original one doesn't fit. Or is this the original one? I don't remember. Whatever. Whatever. Domino's not a big toy dog. She doesn't play with toys a lot. Just doesn't. She just doesn't. She has like one or two she really likes and she'll play with some. And that's it. Ever do anything with the Soval SV07? Nope. I've never had a Soval printer at all. Soval has never reached out to me. I've never had one. Nope. Get in there. That does not want to start. It's like trying to cross thread. Get the fuck in your hole. Dog's a pit bull mix. That makes sense as to why they like to play with toys a lot more. That makes sense. I think I'm putting the wrong size screws in there. I don't care. They're in. Cool. Okay, now it is bedtime, I think. Timing belt's on. I don't need the limit switch screw. There is no limit switch. Springs go on and the bed goes on. Alright. Time for springs in the bed. And the middle spacers. The middle spacers are going to be annoying to get in here. I wish I had... I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of silicone spacers. They'd probably be better for this. have a handful of silicone spacers. I don't know if they're big enough or the right size. Should I put silicone spacers or should I put the springs back in? I have just enough silicone spacers here. So which should I do? I went solid mount and do Z tilt adjust. Does Z tilt adjust work on this? I don't think the Z motors are independent on this build, on this machine. Silicone. Alright, silicones it is. Silicones it is. On this big of a bed, I really don't think it should have springs. I'm not generally like a silicone spring diehard kind of person, but on this big of a bed, it's just silly for it to have. Oh, is that an end stop? I'll be done shortly, I think. Thank you, baby. Yeah, she needs her second. Okay, I just realized what this longer screw that was in here is for. It's an end stop, so it can't. It's what the central's homing bumps against. I thought I could leave it out, but I cannot. I'm not generally a silicone spacer person. I generally don't think they are that big of a deal. On this big of a bed, on this large of a bed, I think springs are a bit silly. Because you could legitimately have a big heavy print on there and it could cause the springs to move and sag, and on this big of a machine it shouldn't have springs, I don't think. Alright. Time to put the bed back on. Now that I set the spacers there, I'm probably going to knock them over when I tilt this up to get the bed back out. I'm using silicone spacers as feet on my Ender 3. Alright, now I gotta put metal space. Should I replace the middle ones with silicone spacers? They're metal ones. Stock, there's metal standoffs, which are gonna be hard to put back in here, first off. And I don't know how I feel about rigidly mounting the middle of this bed and not the outer edges. Thoughts? Can't decide how I feel about that. I have extra silicone spacers. They're going to hit the insulation. Actually, they're going to hit the insulation on all of them. Damn it. They're going to hit the insulation on all of them. I use springs on my Mercury 1. I did use springs on my Mercury 1. I got to cut this insulation so these are going to actually fit. Damn it. Nothing simple. I gotta cut around these a little bit. Make space for the silicone. At least it cuts really easy, the foam. Cuts really easy. Don't want to push too hard so I don't cut the PCB heater. Feel like rigid in the middle. Solid center gives a 0 reference. I guess that's arguably true. Okay, we'll use the solid spacers in the middle. Let's stick with the solid spacers. Let's try the solid spacers. I can always take this back off and put silicone spacers in there if I'm really having trouble getting it to tighten up. Or to level out, which I was before, so we're going to find out. Alright, at this rate, this is taking a lot longer than I expected it would, so I think we're probably going to get the bed back on, and we'll run an input shaper graph again so we can compare and see if the y-axis linear rail, which I'm expecting is the bigger improvement versus the x-axis, see if it made a difference. How flat do you think the bed is? Not. I really don't think it is. I really don't think it is. Before we get too much further, I've been forgetting to ask questions. I meant to ask questions to you folks. John Olson gave me a great idea that I think we're going to be pursuing, of creating a 3D printing newsletter. Is that something you folks would be interested in, first off? Probably like once a week, maybe bi-weekly. No, most likely weekly. We'll just put out like maybe a new product notices. I'll put out feelers to the brands I know, and when new products are coming, we can maybe hint them. And hate newsletters. I get that. I'm not a huge newsletter person myself. But I also want to put out stream schedules. I want to put out stream schedules. I want to work with like Nero and Steve and Modbot and various other creators who stream, and like get a calendar going, so you folks could get like an inbox message that'll tell you what the schedule is going to be like for the week. So you can have an idea who's streaming when. It'll help me too to know, you know. Could the newsletter be distilled into a regular video series? Potentially. That's not a bad idea. I could do like a quick like news of the week like video like on Sundays or something like that. That's a good idea. I'm gonna add that to the list. Yeah, and I'll look for news articles to put into it, like just like a fairly quick. I don't want it to be like a big long blog post. Just something quickly you can like scan through, see when we're going to be streaming and stuff like that. So, 3D Print General does something similar. He did something similar. Is he still doing it since he lost the channel? Unfortunately, I know he started doing the news thing before that happened. Cool. Love to see this. Okay, cool. All right, but I'm going to leave it at that. We'll talk about this more in the future. But I just wanted to see if folks were at all interested in that. Sounds like you are. Awesome. Some of you are. I can understand the rest of you who aren't. Totally get it. So, obviously, it's going to be optional for you to sign up whether you want to or not. So, oh, that's a good idea. Doing like repo updates or GitHub updates. That's a great idea. You know, Orca Slicer came out with a new beta this week. Here's the features it added. That's a great idea. You know, here's the latest Clipper updates. And Marlin, what's going on with development over there? That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that, but awesome. I could do like a firmware section or a software or open source project section or something. So, like, you know, the Voron team released a new beta for this or something. Like today, RatRig released VChunk. They released that 3D printable printer they're going to do. Could even go into Tune how to new features. I don't want it to be that big. If it ends up being that big, it'll have to be like a blog post that you can link to off of it. So, security issues regarding 3D printing? Yeah. All that news stuff that we see pop up. How do you stay abreast of all this stuff? Honestly, Twitter's the way I stay most abreast of it right now. People tag me in like updates and news articles, or they come across my feed on Twitter, or I just happen upon this stuff. I'm going to, with creating the newsletter, I'll be creating a better system for like seeking out the news, like Google alerts and whatever, and like filtering through and actively seeking the stuff more often. Right now, I kind of just let it come to me. Hopefully, if the newsletter does well, hopefully like devs would actually come to us, be like, hey, we got a new thing, and that way we can have it direct from their mouth. Oh, they announced vCore 4. Did they announce vCore 4? I haven't watched that video. I don't want to say more than that since I haven't watched that. They did announce it. Okay. I haven't gotten a chance to watch that. I've been so busy today. I don't even know what I did today, and I feel like I was so busy. They did announce vCore 4. Okay, cool. I may or may not have known vCore 4 was coming. try and get to these damn... The hardest thing about spacers like this is lining up everything and not knocking them over. I feel like I might have to put the silicone spacers in because they're holding up everything a little bit high right now. We'll see. Opinions on Neptune 3, Neptune 3 Pro. Honestly, the Neptune 4 Pro has a higher flow hot end, clipper firmware, the auxiliary part cooling. I like the Neptune 4 Pro more than I like the Neptune 4 Max. I never had a 3 Pro to say. Didn't give details, but they said clearly VCore 4 is coming soon. Okay, cool. That's what I expected. I won't say any more. I wasn't going to say any more anyway, but I do know that VCore 4 is in fact coming. I think they had to say that because a lot of people have been complaining because they've been out of stock of VCore 3 kits lately, and that's why they've been out of stock of VCore 3 kits. So it's good that they made an announcement. All right, getting the silicone spacers in here. Install silicone spacers in yours today, yeah. What do you think of 7040 with CPAP tube for part cooling? Don't know. I haven't tried CPAP yet. It'll be a lot quieter than CPAP, than true CPAP. Major difference between rat rig and Voron. There are biggest difference between a rat rig and a Voron is 30-30 extrusions. They use larger 30-30 extrusions, so larger, beefier extrusions. And I'm missing screws, bed screws. Did I get them all in? No, I'm missing 2. What the heck? Missing 2 countersunk bed screws. What did I do with them? Kinematic bed mount. Yeah, it uses 30-30 extrusions, so beefier 30-30 extrusions, and some metal parts. So like metal frame corners, and there are, I think, also official like CNC parts available for the motion system, though you can print parts for that. You don't have to use CNC parts, I don't think. So beefier frame and the metal like gussets and stuff for it. So there's a handful of parts you kind of have to buy from that are harder to source externally. Whereas the Voron team tries to make everything off the shelf. They try to make as many things that aren't printed off the shelf parts as possible. Rat Rig doesn't worry about that as much. So I think these middle ones are supposed to be shorter screws, I just found. A bit more industrial-ish, sure. Voron panels are cheaper. Enclosing is expensive due to the custom cut panels. I mean, you got to custom cut panels for anything. I think Voron panels are just cheaper because kits are available from a lot of different brands, is really what it comes down to there. Whereas Rat Rig stuff is almost exclusively from Rat Rig. It's not that I don't think it's that other people couldn't sell their stuff. I don't know for sure on that. I'd have to look what the license is about. But it's just that that's the way it is. That they're the ones selling parts, so. Yeah, the center ones are a couple shorter screws I accidentally did not put in there first. I really hope to be building a Have you seen the Prussian closer? It's ridiculous. I haven't gotten a chance to watch Joel's video yet. Damn it! I just knocked one of the middle spacers out. Oh, that's such a pain to get in there. I think I can just squeeze it in here from underneath. I haven't gotten a chance to watch Joel's video yet, no. I saw the thumbnail, it looked ridiculous, but I haven't had a chance to watch the video. Ugh. Alright, in you go. What have I missed? What have I missed? A few of these. Just tuned in. Oh, a lot. Rat rig is CC, BC, and NC. Okay, so not NC, non-commercial. So yeah, not supposed to sell their stuff. So that'd be why you don't have as many parts available out there. There are parts available. Like somebody just said, Mandala. Mandala Roseworks does sell beds and panels, I believe. The enclosure adds so much volume, it'll never passively heat. Well, that's fair. For the Prusa XL. Are you at MFE? I have no idea what that means. No idea what that means. What are benefits of the upgrade? What, this upgrade that I'm doing right now? Don't know yet. We'll find out. I don't know. We're going to find out. Manufacturing engineer. Nope. I'm a former metal fabricator. I was a custom car builder. That's what I did for a living. No engineering, no official trained engineering background. Just real world experience building things. Just real world experience building things. I was the guy who cursed at engineers. Just curious. Nope. Curiosity is a good thing. Curiosity is a good thing. Ah! Got a zip. I knew it was going to happen. USB cable is stuck to my foot right now. Yeah. Alright. We're getting this bed tightened down, and then we're going to run an input shaper graph on this and see if it made an improvement. And we'll find out. I'm not going to do leveling or any of that yet. That'll have to wait. This is taking a lot longer than I hoped it would. Which I should know better. I should absolutely know better, you know? I should know. Glad I had silicone spacers for this. I think I bought them for this, actually. I just forgot. I think I got them for this. Alright, tighten the bed down a little bit, load up those silicone washers. Streaming add plus add does not equal speed builds. It doesn't equal speed builds. Streaming is not speed building, that's for damn sure. You are very correct. It's streaming really doesn't allow for speed building, which is fine. Which is fine. And ADD. Ah, yes. That makes way more sense. Yes. Especially, you folks ask me a question and I am off to the races in a different direction. I think, honestly, ADD is going to be my streaming superpower. Alright, accelerometer's plugged in. Put the bed sheet back on. Alright, bed sheet's on. And we got a linear rail, y-axis. Can you run an input shaper in Marlin, as my printers are Marlin based? Marlin has input shaper in some of the later releases. So yes, it can be done. It's implemented in a different way. It doesn't read sensors like these do. Can't believe the Giga is 4 of these. I know. It's ridiculous. Alright. I'm going to pull up, fire this thing up, and get it homed so we can get to doing an input shaper graph. I gotta find my mouse and open up Putty. Putty pulled up here. 192.168. 1.203. I don't think it's booted yet. Can you explain what input shaper is? Input shaper is a add-on or supplemental portion of motion control for motors that offsets resonance in the frame and motion system of a printer. So in Elegoo Discord, I have made a chat in the mods and accessories tab with my current input shaper graph. I have the input shaper graph from this ready to roll. Imagine waving a plastic rod with a weight on it without the weight wiggling on the end. Yeah, that's not a bad way of kind of explaining it. When you're waving that weight at the end of there, it's really going to want to wiggle and wave. Input shaper is like maybe this is a bad explanation. If you put your second hand up and you control the weight a little bit better and keep it from moving so much. That's a terrible way of explaining it. It's a way of smoothing motion in a motion control system to offset for resonance frequencies in the motion system. So if your tool head is traveling and it kind of like wiggles, which is not a good explanation, micro wiggles, the resonance, the vibration in it, it's a motion compensation based off of the tool head. Well, in Clipper, we usually, most commonly, tune it by having accelerometers mounted to our motion system. Like this machine has an accelerometer on the bed and one on the tool head. And it uses those to measure the resonance and measure the resonance frequency of that it needs to compensate for. So that wiggle in the motion system. It's measuring via sensors. You can do it by just printing like an object and it'll change the frequency at each layer or whatever. Well, it'll change how much input shaping is applied, I'm pretty sure, via the layer method. That's an imprecise way of doing it, but it is a way of doing it. That's the way Marlin does it in their implementation because they don't have sensors implemented yet. Supposedly they're working on it, but I haven't seen any progress on that. Let me get putty pulled up here. Alright, I'm logged in. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to pull up Fluid so we can get into here. Did the 4 come with sensors or are they additional? No, it came with sensors. The 4 Max came with a bed sensor and it has a sensor in the tool head too. It did come with them. Surprisingly enough, I was kind of shocked by that myself. For a machine that's arguably a very budget machine for what it is, I was shocked. Alright, homing everything. Alright, good thing we homed properly on X and Y, so we didn't have any issues with the offset as far as having to adjust our sensorless homing. That's good. I didn't expect we would, but who knows? All right, I think the linear rail, I just held up the linear rail mount I just held up the linear rail mount to the carriage plate for this, for the x-axis. I think this linear rail mount is going to work. I think we're going to be able to use this on the Neptune 4 Max. So I might stream that tomorrow. I might stream that tomorrow and we can like do the x-axis too, since we're only getting the y-axis done today. But I was worried about the y-axis more. I think this is going to be the much bigger improvement. The 4 does not come with sensors. Oh, I'm sorry. The Neptune 4, the base Neptune 4 does not come with sensors. You're right. The Neptune 4 and Neptune 4 Pro do not come with sensors. Sorry, you're right. The Neptune 4 Plus and the Neptune 4 Max do. Don't know why they did that. Okay, time to run. It just has an input shaper profile from the factory. Yes. Sorry, you are correct about that. All right. Which phone and case do I have? I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's an iPhone 13 Pro Max, and the case is a small rig cage. It's actually all aluminum, and my phone actually slides inside of it. Like, it's all metal. Protects the hell out of it, but it's an absolute freaking brick. It adds a lot of weight and whatever, but I'm very used to carrying it. I got it for like adding phone accessory, like camera accessories. All in all, this unboxing seems pretty smooth. I mean, honestly, there were some like oddities about the way that went together, but overall, I think that did go pretty smooth. It could have been a lot worse. Could have just not fit. Oh, you meant the Max. Yes, the Max did come with sensors. Yes. All right, time to run resonance test on our y-axis. Here we go. Not that you're going to see it, really, other than it shaking the whole bench, maybe. Because it is shaking the whole bench. Concealed carry case. It's a weapon, that's for sure. I'll tell you what, I can tell you right now, when I ran the before test on this, when I ran the before test here, it made a lot of noise. When I ran the before test on the y-axis, it made like a fair bit of noise, and I'm not hearing that now. I don't know if anything was loose, don't know, but I'm not hearing whatever noise I was hearing before, so I'm expecting a significantly better graph now. We'll find out, don't know, but alright, it is written to the file. I'm going to jump into WinSCP, well, no, I got to jump into PuTTY, send a command to produce a graph in PuTTY. I always forget you can't paste in PuTTY using Control-V. I keep thinking it's a trackball mouse until you move it. Yep, nope, regular mouse. This thing, the Armbian processor, the board they're running in this thing is so slow at making these graphs. I'm so used to a Raspberry Pi that does it like that. This is painfully slow. But
here's what I found.
I don't care. Alright, I'm going to open up WinSCP so I can jump in, and pull out this graph, and we can take a look at it. What did I even say to activate my watch? I have no idea. It does it all the time while I'm, yeah, it's right-click in PuTTY. I know. Yeah. I just forget. Who knows? Honestly, that never happens except during streams. It doesn't kick in randomly on me except during streams. Alright. It made the graph. I'm going to go pull it now. Log in. Download. Let's send it to the folder where I put the other one. Not what I wanted. And we'll compare. Who knows? It could be terrible for all I know, but I'm hoping it was an improvement. I'm hoping this was worthwhile to do. Alright, I'm going to open it up and take a look. Let's screen share so you folks can see with me. Alright, here is our before on the y-axis. This is what before on the y-axis looked like. And You can see how it really low down at like 25 hertz. It had this really bad peak here, double peak. And it's pretty hashy in the middle too. Yeah, 2 serious peaks, not 2 little peaks, 2 serious peaks. I think this may have as well. That's our thumbnail. Where's our other graph? Here it is. Yeah, not that much better. It isn't recommending 2 hump anymore. That's a positive. But our peaks really didn't improve down to 25 hertz. It's just so much weight here, I think. But Clipper is recommending a different input shaper method before. Oh, wait. I just noticed something here. Big difference here. Let me move where my camera is here in the screen. So the humps are still really big peak. It is recommending higher acceleration now. It's recommending MZV. I'm covering up the damn chart. Sorry. So it's recommending MZV now for our input shaper instead of... Oh, wow. Why are we zoomed in so much? Sorry. So it's recommending MZV now and 1800 acceleration, which is 300 millimeters per second faster acceleration. On a big machine like that, that's nothing to sneeze at. So that's an absolute improvement. Before, it was recommending 1500 and 2 hump before. Now, I think... Let me pull it up. I gotta pull up the other graph. What I'm noticing is it's at a lower magnitude, I think. Yep, I'm right. So on the left-hand side, the spectral density, which is the reading that it's getting, our previous peak was up to over 1.2. You can see it's up over 1.2 now. So we had 2 peaks over 1.2. Now, looking at the new graph, we still have 2. Actually, we really kind of have 3 peaks there. But they're only at just over 0.8. So we've decreased our overall resonance pretty significant. Not pretty significantly, a bit. It's really resonating at the same point. Down there at that low, that 25 hertz range, but it did decrease, and it's recommending higher acceleration. Was this worth it, though? I don't know. What do you think? I'm gonna have to play with this a lot more. I'm gonna have to play with this a lot more to really decide. Let me look at what this cost. I don't remember. $89.90 it looks like. $89.90 for this Y-axis upgrade with the basic generic rails that we got here. Not worth it in my opinion. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking not. I'm kind of thinking not as well. I'm leaning toward not worth it. What do you think? $90. I don't know. We're not going to have to adjust V-wheels anymore, which were annoying to do on this machine. That's a big positive in my book. So no more adjusting V-wheels. We've got linear rails now. They were quieter in quick motion there than I thought they were going to be. Did improve input shaper, but not a lot. Printed results will tell the tale. I wish I should have done a pre-print. Damn it, I should have done a print before. I have some prints off of this machine we can compare, but I think the bed is so big, changing the motion system is the only thing that would improve. Yeah, I don't disagree. One thing I was thinking about, I've been thinking about, would it make sense to replace the Y-axis motor with an LDO motor and maybe pushing a little bit more amperage to it? I don't know. It was a thought I had. I don't think I'm going to do that soon, but it was a thought I had. I have some spare LDO motors. I just don't know if I have any 1.8 degree motors I could put in here. 0.9 was probably not a good call for this. Jack thinks it was worth it. We got to a better input shaper with the MZV and we got rid of the wheels. So yeah, 48 volt 2 amp motor. I'm not doing that. Sometimes upgrades are worth it just because they're fun to do. Sure. Do two LDO motors instead of a front idler. You can't, because that's where the belt adjustment is. That would be way too big of a deal. Convert it to maglev. All right, folks. SRT Devin, you're heading out. I gotta head out too. It's time for me to go eat dinner. I'm just thinking. Yeah, I've only got some 0.9 LDO motors, I think, right now. I don't think I have any 1.8s. So, I don't know. We'll consider it. All right, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. We got the Y-axis rail done. We've still got the X-axis to do, and I want to convert this to open firmware. X-axis is going to go a lot quicker. So tomorrow, I think I'm going to stream getting the X-axis put together on this and converting the firmware. So I think that's tomorrow's stream. So thank you, folks, for being here. Thank you for stopping by. Another excellent stream. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who sent a super chat. It is greatly appreciated. Really helps make these more justifiable to do these streams. And everybody who dropped a like on the stream, it's appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. Mandic Labs going to be putting a lot more content on here in the future as we look toward moving. So yeah, probably going to put more content on here than I will on Mandic Really for the next couple of months. We'll see. Grow the Labs channel. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we're looking to grow the Labs channel. We're going to be doing more of this type of like just nitty-gritty 3D printer stuff here in the future. So thank you, folks, for being here. I appreciate it, and I will catch you all in the next one, which will be tomorrow when we put the X-axis on this thing. See you, folks, later. Bye-bye. Bye. That's what I want.